My dear friends in Christ, this Sunday, we may all experience a bit what I would like to call gospel whiplash, from last Sunday's gospel to this week's gospel. Last Sunday, St. Peter boldly answers Jesus' question, "Who do you say that I am?" by confessing that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. This Sunday, Jesus announces that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer greatly from the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised, which leads Peter to rebuke Jesus. "God forbid, Lord, no such thing shall ever happen to you." Even though Peter was able to correctly confess that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, he fails to recognize the bigger picture. Peter is scandalized that the Son of the living God would have to undergo suffering and death. To him, this equated to failure. From Peter being a rock to an obstacle, Jesus uses the situation to help his disciples to understand what it truly means to follow him. In other words, a disciple of Jesus Christ must also be willing to walk the same path of the Master. To the world, the self-sacrifice of Jesus is a scandal and pure foolishness. Jesus teaches us that the cross is part of our life, whether we want it or not. And what matters is how we face it and why we face it. Jesus teaches us today that the only way to achieve what we truly desire is to take up our cross for the sake of a higher purpose. Jesus died on the cross, but this was not a defeat or a failure. We cannot follow Christ without the cross. Pope Francis reminds us that the cross of Christ teaches us that Jesus' way is the way of love, and that there is no true love without self-sacrifice. We are called to not let ourselves be absorbed by the vision of this world, but to be ever more aware of the need and of the effort for we Christians to walk against the current and uphill. Each time we see a crucifix in our home, inside the church, or even when we make the sign of the cross, we are reminded that following Jesus is not easy, but not impossible. We need to look at the cross, not as a hindrance, but as a way of living in order to help build up the kingdom of Christ. God bless you all.